Hello, one-alls, my view Dr. Stone, chapter 192, until we meet again in this chapter. Oh my freaking god, I mean seriously, we open up this shot with Medusa being activated, and it's big. It's really, really freaking terrifyingly massive. I mean, seriously, how is that little diamond battery producing this much power? I have so many questions about that, though thankfully, one of our questions was answered this chapter as it was revealed that the bigger the blast radius, the faster the wave travels, which, thank God, I've seen so many people online in the comments down below just so very, very confused about that because, on Treasure Island, it was only moving like 30 miles per hour, and if that was the case here, it would take, days or even weeks to finally reach Senku. But because it's moving much, much faster than that, it's going to have them all turn to stone very, very quickly. The problem with that, though, is that Senku won't be able to, time his throw correctly and won't be able to unpetrify himself. Thankfully, Chrome has the idea. He's had this idea ever since they first found Medusas to create some sort of device that would automatically spray them with revival fluid every couple minutes. And just as they're about to do that, Senku gets shot. And so does the revival fluid, which means, they can't actually do that because that was apparently the last bottle they had on them. Oh no! And I'm actually rather curious about who shot him here. I mean, Stanley's a sniper, but he is really freaking good at sniping. I feel like if he was the one to shoot Senku, he would hit him in like the head or the heart or somewhere much more lethal than the shoulder. Though there's a fairly good chance he was distracted by the giant wave of light coming towards him, and oh my god, I love the look on Zeno's face right here. It's not fear, it's more like reverence or awe or ecstasy at the fact that Senku actually managed to do it. They actually managed to get the Medusa up and running. And then we, actually get to see the Medusa, the wave coming towards them, and oh my freaking god, it's massive. Oh my freaking god, it's massive. I mean, seriously, just compare the size of this to their tiny little war, the tiny little battle that's going on right there. It really just puts everything into perspective, and I freaking love it. Also, something else I need to point out, the moon is very clearly visible in this shot. I do not think that's an accident. I definitely think that was done on purpose to say, the Y-Man is going to see this. Y-Man is going to be made aware of this, and he might end up acting because of it. He might end up doing something in the next couple chapters because he thinks the whole world is petrified again. And I am so very, very curious about that. And then Ukyo comes back. Yay! Honestly, I kind of forgot he was keeping an eye on the hostages. But he manages to free Francois, she frees Matsukaze, Jinro, and Suka, and they go for revival fluid. They go to bring it back to Senku so that he can, revive them all and save the day. Huzzah! No. Because Zeno shows up and proves once and for all that he is overwhelmingly, disgustingly evil. I mean, seriously, he orders Stanley to open fire on a child, an 11-year-old little girl who he has spent the last 3 months with. He knows how adorable and sweet Suka is, and he shows zero hesitation in murdering her. And you might say, oh, well, Zeno thought she could be revived with the Medusa. No. These were very clearly headshots. They were going in for the kill with Suka. God, I hate you. And it doesn't even show any, remorse over it. I mean, Brody last chapter, after he killed the kids, he shed a single manly tear. And I loved him for that. I respected him for that. But Zeno, I mean, he just starts bantering, borderline flirting with Stanley, referring to himself as a damsel in distress. And just, oh my freaking god. I hate them both so much right now. I hate them both so very, very much. Though that just made the next scene so much better. When they realize the revival fluid is gone, and so is Suka. Oh, that look of surprise in their face. It's so worth it. And then Suka, sweet, adorable Suka. God, I love this girl so much. Even though she is blind, she still manages to run through the woods, carrying all the revival fluid with her to make sure she gets it back to Senku, to make sure that Senku can be saved. Oh God, I freaking love you, Suka, so much. And she manages to do it. She managed to get one bottle back to them, even as the soldiers open fire on her again. And then they bring the last bottle of revival fluid to the Medusa Tower and place it directly beneath the shot cannon. I freaking love it. I mean, I knew this thing was going to play some sort of role somehow, some way in this fight. I did not see this coming. I did not see it coming. All Senku has to do now is wait for a sound of nature, sound of thunder, sound of an animal crying to be picked up by the receiver and projected into the shot cannon. It'll shatter the bottle and it'll save who's ever standing beneath it. And that just leaves the question, who will stand beneath it? Who will be the last human left alive on the entire planet? Now, Senku, he's been shot. He can't even move his body a single millimeter. And Kaseki, Chrome, and Jen are all holding back Stanley, which is one of the funniest shots we've gotten in this entire series. Oh my god, I love that. And that just leaves one person, sweet, adorable little Suka. And so Senku asks her, hey Suka, you still want to be helpful, right? And yes, Senku, that's all she's ever wanted, to be helpful to you and to the Kingdom of Science, the Ishigami Village. I mean, remember the first time we saw her, she picked up Magnet, was helping you find the iron sand at the bottom of the river, and that's still who she is. And so she goes beneath the tower, she stands up as tears fall through her eyes, and she waits to be petrified. And oh my god, poor Suka. She's gonna be the last human on the planet. She's gonna be all alone when she wakes up, and essentially blind, and somehow she'll need to find a way to revive Senku and the rest of them. I mean, hoping there's, enough revival fluid still in the bottle, still in the metal tray on top of it, that she can, go wake up Senku or Kaseki or someone after that, and then they can make more. But that is not going to be easy for that little girl. Oh god, I love her so much. Please be okay, Suka. But then it comes. The Medusa comes. The wave comes and hits them, and oh, I love it. I freaking love it. And just this look on Zeno's face as it happens. He doesn't even look mad. I mean, the light's in his eyes. Yes, it's just a reflection of the Medusa beam, but at the same time, he looks just like the same old Zeno who's, awakened to his love of science once again. And now we wait. Now we wait to see what happens next. And yeah, I have a lot of theories and speculation about that, but first and foremost, something I really need to mention that I'm not seeing anyone else really comment online. Where are Chelsea and Luna? Because remember like 4 or 5 chapters ago when they left to become the next designated survivors? That very role means they probably had a whole bunch of vital fluid with them. And yet they weren't mentioned at all this chapter. I'm in a line of Senku saying, oh, I'm sure that Chelsea and Luna will be able to figure something out. They have so much vital fluid with them, they can just throw it in the air and they'll be fine. No, they weren't mentioned at all. It wasn't even considered a possibility. And I find that very, very interesting. This is my theory. This is my crazy, insane speculation on what's going to happen when everyone does wake up. Obviously, Suka's going to wake up first, then she's going to find a way to wake up Senku, then Senku's going to wake up everyone else. Even for argument's sake, let's say Hyoga, Suka, Kawaku, they're all going to revive. Huzzah, big happy ending. But then they're going to look for Chelsea and Luna, and no matter how far they search, no matter how long they search, they're not going to find a single trace of them. Now, I know a lot of my viewers are kind of sick of this theory, but Chelsea, I am like 90% certain that she is evil. I mean, just think about her backstory for a second. There are so many holes in this. I mean, just as, Senku's team needed a geographer, they find the best geographer on the planet. And she is so blind that she couldn't read a sign directly in front of her face, but she managed to survive in the wild by herself for a full year. There are just so many holes there, so many problems with that logic. And so my theory is this: Chelsea works for the Y-Man. She was sent to Earth to check in on the surviving humans, and if possible, to capture Luna and bring her back to the moon, because Luna is the Y-Man's daughter. I mean, seriously, her name literally means moon. That's as big a flag as you could possibly raise. But enough about them, let's talk about Japan, because I don't actually think Japan was petrified. Maybe the Medusa ran out of energy, or maybe they saw it coming and they started throwing a vital fluid in the air, and one they managed to survive and woke up everyone else. Something like that. Regardless, the reason why I think that, though, is imagine if we get a time skip. Like, it takes 5 years for Suka to wake up. Then when they finally get back to Japan, everyone there is going to be 5 years older. And I think that really offers the ability for some cool character growth. Like, say, Soyuz. Last time we saw him, he had just been made, chief of the whole Treasure Island. He was nervous, he was untrained, he was skittish. But after 5 years of leading the village, he'd be much more confident, much more professional leader. I'd love to see that. But most importantly is Suka's little sister, little Mira. She was 12 years old last time we saw her. Imagine if she spent the last 5 years learning some sort of skill or trade that allows her to be of use to Senku, that allows her to go on the next expedition with them. I mean, I could definitely see that. She wants to be helpful. She wants to be useful to her brother, to Senku, and to spend time with them. I mean, for instance, what if she became a doctor? It would make a lot of sense for her as a character. She was hospitalized as a kid. Her life was saved by doctors. And then later on, when she first woke up from the stone, she saw Senku and Yuzu performing surgery on her brother, and she felt so utterly helpless in that situation. She wanted to be able to do something there, and learning medical skills, learning how to perform surgeries would certainly help with that. Certainly make her feel like, all right, next time my brother is injured, I'll be able to save him. I'll be able to protect him. And I just absolutely freaking love that. And Senku's team is definitely going to need a doctor, especially if, like I theorized before, Luna's getting him disappearing in the next chapter. I know it's an insane theory that relies on a lot of speculation, but I really do feel like it fits here. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the chapter. Oh, also, before I forget, Senku Looks like he's finally going to lose his crack marks. Finally. I mean, I saw some people online saying, oh, Senku's not getting petrified. No, that can't happen. He'll lose his crack marks. There's no way he's going to lose his crack marks before the end of the series. It's not going to happen. But, you know, this feels like an event important enough where it warrants him losing them. I mean, he literally just petrified the entire freaking planet. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. And one more thing I want to mention before I go. Dr. Stone Reboot Byakuya. Anyone who has not yet read this should absolutely read it. It's basically a spin-off from the main series that shows a slightly different perspective to the world being petrified 3,000 years ago. And I have a very sneaking suspicion that a few elements from it are going to come to play in the next couple chapters. Honestly, maybe even next chapter. So yeah, definitely check it out if you can. It's available in print as well as on the Viz app, and definitely worth checking out. But yeah, so let me know else down below. What do you think is going to happen when Suka wakes up? What do you think happened to Chelsea and Luna? Do you think Japan's going to get petrified? How long do you think they're going to actually, have to wait for a sound to activate the Medusa? Let me know what you think of all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video. And until then, peace!